Coverage moves back home where the tragedy in Texas is reopening wounds for many Sandy Hook families.
Channel 3's chief investigative reporter Matthew Campbell is showing us how they're trying to honor the memories of their loved ones. Matthew is here now with more. Matthew.
Yeah, Mark and Aaron, I really got the sense today of what survivors go through each time a mass shooting happens. We spoke with Nicole Hockley and Hannah Davino. Hannah's sister Rachel was killed in Sandy Hook, and Hannah has been diagnosed with PTSD. She says each time there's a tragedy like this, memories come flooding back.
I was shaking, I was vomiting, I really felt like I was back there waiting for the news to hear about my sister.
That's how Hannah Davino reacted when she heard about the second deadliest school shooting in U.S. history.
I've been having flashbacks of my mother's scream from when she found out that Rachel was dead.
Hannah's sister Rachel was killed in the Sandy Hook shootings, and those vivid flashbacks are triggered with each mass shooting.
I feel like I'm back in 2012.
Nearly 10 years later, the haunting memories haven't faded, and Hannah says the nation's gun laws haven't changed either.
Whether it's gun control or mental health, the changes need to happen.
Anger, sadness, and bewilderment. Hannah says those are emotions many Sandy Hook families share. Nicole Hockley's 6-year-old son Dylan was killed in the shooting.
We're becoming too immune to this as a country, but this is not the way it's supposed to be.
Hockley is the co-founder of Sandy Hook Promise, an organization dedicated to ending gun violence by teaching children about warning signs before violence occurs.
I don't know how much more our country can take and why we keep going through that same cycle over and over again of thoughts and prayers and lack of action.
If someone were to put themselves in the shoes of a Sandy Hook survivor or a relative of a victim, some may be discouraged as each tragedy unfolds. Hannah and Nicole vow they won't give up.
Sure as heck isn't easy, but I have a surviving son who I love with my whole life. He brings me joy, and doing something to honor Dylan, to prevent other families from feeling this, as many as I can. I wouldn't say that brings me joy, but it certainly brings me purpose.
It can be discouraging, but we're not going to stop.
Now, right now, Hannah tells us that a handful of survivors are heading to Texas to be there for the families who are now experiencing what they did nearly 10 years ago. They're going to share advice on how to heal and how to prepare for the excruciating days ahead. Hannah has not made one of these trips herself. She tells us that it's still too raw for her. Live here in studio, Matthew Campbell, Channel 13 News.